The words were soft, trembling, spoken by a little girl holding a worn-out diary, its cover frayed at the edges, its pages yellowed with time. She stood in front of a man who was known to the world as ruthless, untouchable, the CEO who built an empire with cold precision and an iron will. But in that moment, as her innocent eyes looked up at him with both hope and sorrow, something inside him cracked. Before we go deeper into this life-changing story, make sure you stay with me till the end. It's a journey that may just change how you see life, family, and love itself. And if it touches your heart, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more stories that remind us of what truly matters. The CEO's name was Adrian Cole. People in the business world described him with one word: relentless. He worked 16-hour days, fired anyone who made a mistake, and kept his heart locked behind walls taller than his skyscraper headquarters. To his employees, he was a man of power. To himself, he was simply empty. Years ago, he had walked away from family, friends, even love, in the pursuit of building something bigger. Yet, when the money came, the success came, and the world admired him, Adrian felt nothing but silence echoing in his penthouse every night. That day, he had gone to a hospital to sign a corporate donation deal. He didn't really care about charity, he only cared about the publicity. The cameras would flash, his reputation would soften, and that was enough. But life, in its mysterious way, had written a different script for him. As he walked through the hallway, impatient, ready to leave after shaking hands with a doctor, he noticed a little girl sitting alone near the waiting area. Her shoes were worn, her dress too small for her age. She hugged a tattered diary tightly to her chest. Most people walked past her, too busy to care. But for reasons Adrian couldn't explain, his steps slowed. The girl looked up at him with eyes that seemed to pierce straight through his armor. "Sir," she whispered, almost afraid, "can you read this for me? It's important." Adrian frowned. He was a man who hated distractions, yet something in her voice, fragile but determined, made him sit down beside her. She carefully placed the diary in his hands, opening it to a page where the ink was smudged by tears. The first line hit him like a wave: "To my little Emma, if you're reading this, it means Mommy couldn't be there to tuck you in tonight." Adrian's throat tightened. The diary wasn't just a notebook, it was the words of Emma's mother, who, as the nurses quietly confirmed, had passed away just days before. The diary was all Emma had left of her. And Emma couldn't read. So she had asked a stranger, a man she didn't know was a millionaire CEO, to lend her his voice. Adrian read on. Each word carved itself into his heart: "Always remember, my sweet girl, kindness is stronger than anger. Love is stronger than fear. And you will never be alone, because my love will always find you." His voice cracked as he read, but Emma held his hand firmly, her little fingers gripping his larger, trembling ones. For the first time in years, Adrian felt human. He saw the truth: how money and power meant nothing when compared to the love of a mother, the security of family, the warmth of a hug. Emma looked up at him when he finished. "Mommy said, people who are lonely need to be reminded they're loved." "Sir, are you lonely?" Adrian froze. No one had ever dared ask him that, not board members, not employees, not so-called friends. And yet, this child, with nothing but honesty in her heart, had asked the very question he had been running from his whole life. He couldn't speak. All he could do was nod. And in that silence, Emma leaned forward and hugged him. That hug shattered every wall, every mask he had built. He broke down, right there in a hospital waiting room. From that day, everything changed. Adrian didn't just send money to the hospital, he began visiting Emma regularly. He made sure she had food, clothes, books, and school. But more than that, he began to read her mother's diary with her, page by page, night after night, until Emma could finally read on her own. The diary became their bridge, between grief and healing, between loneliness and family. In helping Emma carry her mother's memory, Adrian found himself rediscovering his own humanity. He learned to laugh again when Emma teased him for mispronouncing words. He learned to listen when she cried herself to sleep. And he learned what it meant to be needed, not as a CEO, but as a man. The board of his company noticed the change. At first, they feared it. He wasn't as cold, as detached, as before. But soon, his leadership transformed. Employees no longer feared him, they respected him. His company didn't just chase profits anymore, they built schools, hospitals, and shelters. Adrian's empire became something far greater than numbers, it became a legacy of kindness. One evening, after reading the last page of the diary with Emma, she whispered, "Mommy would have liked you." Tears welled up in Adrian's eyes. He had spent his life chasing approval from people who didn't matter. But in that moment, the words of a little girl meant more than any fortune, any success. And so, the man who once believed love was a weakness learned that it was, in fact, the greatest strength. Friends, if this story touched your heart, if it reminded you of the power of love, family, and kindness, then let's keep spreading these messages together. Please like this video and subscribe to the channel, so we can continue sharing stories that heal, inspire, and remind us of what truly matters. Because sometimes, all it takes is a child's voice asking, "Can you read this for me?" It's important, to change a life forever.